Looks like one of our development parts didn't fare too well in testing. I've put it on hold for now. You can restart work from the laptop. We're going to have to go back now and make some adjustments in order to get the final numbers looking more like we were expecting from the simulation.
Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and we are here for round number 8 for the Baku Grand Prix in Azerbaijan. But if you guys did miss the last episode at Canada, an absolutely incredible episode, loads of overtakes, then do go check it out in the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screen. But we go into Baku with a nice bit of confidence, and hopefully we can try and get another good result here this weekend, because so far this season we've been off to a very good start. We're leading the championship by 27 points going into this race, so we're looking pretty damn good, and the practice around Baku is actually pretty damn good as well. We struggled with the tyre wear test a little bit, however it was all more or less okay. The way the setup is and the car's working around here, I'm running 1-1 aero, and I'm also running ballast to level number 8. That's what I run around here because that's what I used when I was doing the esports practice. And I find around here in sectors 1 and 2, I'm not great. I do lose about 2 to 3 tenths per sector, but then I get all of that time back in the final sector because of some ridiculous straight line speed, and that also, suits the Williams to its strength. But as you saw, the upgrade fell for this episode, which was a major engine upgrade, so we're going to purchase it, so hopefully it arrives for the next race in Austria. And we're also going to purchase a aero upgrade, which we got enough points for after Friday practice, and that way we've got a double upgrade on the way in the next 2 races. That's going to really boost the Williams car up into the top 4 in the R&D charts. But now we go into Saturday qualifying here on Baku for qualifying 1, and overall the session was pretty damn easy. We hit a bit of traffic in our first attempt with Palmer. As you can see there, we had to go on the outside. He got out of the way right on the apex at a very, very awkward position, and we still managed to recover though and get the lap time and turn around. As you can see, it's about a second down in the middle sector, 1.3 down on Perez, I believe. But this final sector, you'll see now, no real skill involved. It's just making sure you get the final corner pretty much nailed and then flat out to the line through the chicane. And we gained about half a second on Perez in this final sector, which is incredible to say Perez isn't a Force India. As you can see now across the line, we do get the gap down to around 7/10 of a second, and we do jump into 7th place there, and that is going to see us comfortably through into Q2 and into the second part of qualifying as Massa follows us through in P9. So overall, both Williams cars quite comfortably into the second part of qualifying. And then speaking of Q2, we do actually go for the slower soft compound tyres, and in sector 1 it's going good so far, but then I had a bit of a scruffy sector 2, and we fell back to about a second as we go for the second sector split. Hamilton currently fastest of anybody in the Mercedes, but now going through the final sector where we are OP as hell. We pick up an extra slipstream from Nico Hulkenberg, who pulls us into the pit lane, and we come across the line to only be only half a second behind Hamilton in the end. So we managed to improve by half a second in just that final straight alone, thanks to the slipstream. When we do go through in P9, they have Massa in P10 also making the cut just about in the second Williams. And then moving into Q3, I make a mistake on my first attempt on the super soft compound tyres, but on my second attempt we're going to run on board now for an entire lap of the Baku City Circuit. And straight away, turn 1, really attacking the corner, 4th gear action, using all the track available to you, including the exit. And then into turn 2, you want to try and avoid the inside curb completely, as it really does upset the balance of the car, and also keep it inside the white lines because it makes your rear tyres spin up on traction. Then DRS wide open, and you're braking hard for turn number 3 here, down to 4th gear, possibly 3rd. You still just to get the nose into the corner. A little bit of oversteer on the exits. Hamilton goes faster with a 37 there, pretty good lap time. Actually a very good lap time to be fair from Lewis, but we now brake very hard for this sort of left-right chicane combination. It's very easy to lose the car through here. The car gets very, very unstable, very light on the rear end, so you've got to try and keep the car nice and steady as we now brake hard for this next 90-degree right-hander, as we're currently 2 tenths down in sector number 1. Now coming into the castle section, really throwing the car in there, 4th gear, keeping it in 4th throughout this entire sequence of corners, and making sure we use all the track on the exit to not lose the rear end and get maximum traction as we now go flat out on the throttle again through these next couple of left-hand kinks, and braking hard now into the off-camber left-hander down the hill, unsighted apex pretty much, and avoid getting out of the track there because you will lose your rear end traction as we now brake very hard for the last major corner on the track. 3 tenths down as it stands on the leader, and now again the traction down and flat out at this point all the way to the line. The hard work is done, and you just got to hope you've got good enough traction to the point where it's going to give you optimal straight line speed along this massive back straight, the longest straight in Formula 1, and you're going to open up with DRS right about now on the line, and we're keeping it to the left hand side for the closest run to the line. Where is this lap going to put us in the top 10. It's going to be P1, I think it was. I just saw there, caught a glimpse of it. Is it P1? Yes, it is. So we take pole position in Baku, and that goes to show we recovered that 0.3 of a second in that entire back straight, which is how the setup of the car is working, and we get pole by just under 0.03 of a second ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So a very, very close qualifying there, and we get pole for round number 8 of the season with Hamilton alongside us on the front row, Ocon and Vettel on the second row, and Massa managing P7 there in the second Williams car. So overall, a good result for us, and hopefully we can convert this good result into solid points tomorrow in the race for round number 8 for the Baku Grand Prix. Right, so here we are then on the grid for the Baku Grand Prix here in Azerbaijan. First place on the grid. First time I've got pole around this track in my career mode on merit, not thanks to penalties. And I look forward to it. I've got a good car underneath me. Thanks to the straight line speed, I'm very confident we can defend their positions because the AI are going to have it incredibly hard to try and get past me. My car's going to be very, very wide. And all in all, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a very good race. I'm definitely going for the win. I want to try and get 2 in a row and follow up from Canada and try and extend my championship, really, especially because the Ferraris don't really have that much pace around here. It's more the Force Indians that are going to be the direct threat, and even the Mercedes, I'd say. So Vettel might be losing some points to me this race, and I'd even say Perez will probably retake second place in the championship. But in terms of the race strategy for today's race, guys, it's a very simple one-stop, softs over to the mediums, and the conditions for the weather are pretty straightforward, no rain expected. So overall, I'm looking forward to it. We've got just over a race distance fuel just to play it safe because it's a very high engine wear circuit and a lot of high fuel consumption thanks to the massive straight and the maximum revs. But overall, it's going to be a pretty straightforward race. If there's no safety car VSC, I'm pretty confident if I can lead into turn 1, I can have it very much under control. But if I'm in second place or third, then it's going to be a bit more of an interesting race. But overall, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys are too. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the race for round number 8 for the Baku Grand Prix. Here we go then. We're going to get ready for the 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go in Baku. It's a pretty decent start actually, but Hamilton gets a great one in the Mercedes. I'm going to get sandwiched in here between Hamilton and Ocon. We're going to switch back underneath, and we just get in front of those guys. A nice little cheeky move there. Hamilton getting it way too hot into turn 1. We are on the soft compound tyres, which is something worth noting because we might be on the back foot when it comes to pace through sectors 1 and 2. I mean, we are on the back foot anyway, but if we've got a slow compound tyre, we're going to be even more slower. So let's try and set the early pace here and try and get away from these guys. But I feel confident in the car. Like I said, I've got the straight line speed to defend, so I can sort of pace myself and make sure I pull off this one stop, because that way I'm going to have the best chance of winning. Also, it looks like Perez has got himself back up into second place after Ocon and Hamilton had such a great start. So let's see how this race pans out. But so far, we lead the way here in Azerbaijan, and hopefully that can be the case for the next 26 laps. Oh, safety car deployed. We've got an early safety car here in Baku. I wonder who that might be for. No retirements have shown up on the screen, but I wonder who that might have been for. Either way, safety car in lap 1, I haven't had one of those for a long time, so that's going to be a first, but we're just going to control the pace of the train here and catch up to the safety car. Okay, the safety car coming in this lap. I can control the speed of the pack here, so it's going to probably be a very similar Sebastian Vettel-esque restart, so I'm just going to wait for it and try and pull away when I got the chance. Get the tyres up to temperature. Need to give myself the best possible chance to get away. Got on the brakes, and now we're going to floor it. Try and push hard here. It's an okay restart. Perez, though, obviously being AR, is pretty good to react to me, but we got underway. Green flag, and we look pretty safe as we make our way down into turn 1. So overall, a very good restart for us. So brake lane to turn 1, probably a little bit too late. Get it way hot on the brakes. Lose the back end on exit. Put myself on the back foot as Perez gets on my outside here into turn 2. It's going to leave me very little room on the inside to get past. I'm going to stick the traction on. Perez, though, holding it. He's actually got some great acceleration, that Force India. Really good acceleration. Jeez. He's trying to outpower me, but here we go. We're going to hold it. We lock on a little bit here, which isn't ideal. I'm going to have to get out of it. Inside line to turn 3. Perez still there on the inside. Ocon looking for a sniff as well. Outside line now for turn 4. Perez, though, puts me in the wall and he's broken my end plate. Not ideal at all. I'm locking up. I've got Ocon on my inside, Perez on my outside. This is not great. Switch back underneath. There we go. We've got the switch back done, but we're in trouble because tyres, or not tyres. Tyres are okay, but I mean front wing is hurt. It's not good. I'm going to see if I can try and hold on though. Okay, I can keep it flat through there, which is good. If I can keep it flat through the far chicane, then that gives me a good chance to defend myself. It is orange front wing, or sort of amberish. I might try and hold on to this. So far, I can go flat out for that final chicane, which is what I need. I'm definitely struggling a bit more on the brakes when it comes to the front end. I'm locking up a little bit easier. So I've got to maybe just push the brake bias back a little bit. But other than that, I reckon this is pretty defendable. We can definitely hold on. I'm going to push the brake bias back. Ocon's going to be right on the back of me though through here. He's going to be so quick in that Force India. So I'm going to have my work cut out to try and keep him behind, especially when DRS gets enabled. But I've got some good straight line speed to try and defend myself. So I'm not too worried. Both of the Force Indias now behind me going side by side here, which is good news for me. It buys me time to defend myself. So here we go. Fastest lap, but we quickly get beaten by our teammate. Taking it easy on the brakes. It's going to have to be a massive defensive job. I've got the straight line speed to do it, but I've got to make sure I don't make any mistakes and get caught out in a corner. DRS now enabled. On the front straight, I'm not too bad. I can defend myself because I build up a lot of momentum before the DRS gets activated. But this straight here is where I'm more vulnerable because on acceleration, the other cars just gain a lot on me. I've got to be very careful under braking because I don't have the late braking confidence that I did because I just lock up very easily. So I've got to be very careful. And also, if a car gets side by side, chances are he's probably going to outbrake me quite easily because I just can't match him on braking. I've got to be very careful. Through here, the car definitely understeers a lot more. I've just got to really be patient to get the nose in. But so far, we're holding on. We've got a massive train of cars behind us, but I'm not too concerned. Even Palmer just hit the fast lap of the Grand Prix, the 42.7. So that gives you an idea of where the race pace really is. But I can hold on to this for as long as I can and still win the race. See, Perez is extremely close, but then I actually start to pull away as I kick into the really high revs. And the Force Indias need my slipstream to keep up. I'm actually that fast in a straight line. So this straight, like I said, is not a big issue. It's the back straight as I get tagged by the Force India. Perez, I think that was there. Bit of a cheeky move as he goes attacking. I go defensive to cover myself, but that's going to put me on the back foot, vulnerable down into turn 4. So I'm going to have to dip into the rich mix to try and defend myself. As here comes Perez again, DRS wide open. He's going to be very close to me, but he's not going to commit to the move just yet. As I get very hot on the brakes into here, got to be careful. If I knock the front wing one more time, I'm going to definitely have to come in. So I'm really going to push to the limit here. I've got to be so careful. I've got to use so much finesse in my driving to make no mistakes. And Perez is really pushing me at the moment. Okay, so I've survived this long. What I'm going to do now, even though my tyres are in very good condition, I'm going to come in this lap. I was meant to come in lap 11, but the reason I'm coming in early is because those on super softs are going to come in any second. So I need to cover myself on undercuts. And also there's a yellow flag now, so this would be a good opportunity for me to come in. So we're going to pull over to the left-hand side and really try and push this pit entry. But the idea here is pretty simple. I've got to have a front wing change. So with that being said, what I can think of and the best solution to this problem is I just come in. I've got Massa behind, so I'm going to really mess him up, and I'm very sorry for this, mate. But I need to come in, get the mediums on, front wing change as well, which is also a big thing. I lose a lot of time, and I need to push now for 2 laps straight as much as I can. But this is going to give me the best solution to cover myself from undercuts because there's a massive train of cars behind me. And if I stay out my broken front wing, I'm just going to lose more time. So I might as well go for the early stop and then suffer the tyre wear at the end of the Grand Prix. So let's get up to speed, and I'm going to crank out to Rich straight away. I'm going to burn it all off right now on this part of the track. But now with the front wing, we should be able to push a bit. So let's get on it and let's crack on with this. Oh, wow. Not ideal. Safety car deployed. This is going to be interesting. All I can hope for is that Perez maybe didn't come in and he went out for another lap. But that's going to be very interesting. It's going to mean we get the task steer in the Grand Prix, but this is awkward. This really is awkward. Okay, absolutely all the cars are in the pit lane here. We have to be quick. Slow down. Come on, Delta, Delta. Come on, Delta. There we go. Speed up, speed up, speed up. Okay, we've come out ahead in front of everybody. So, that is good news. Very good news. I don't know how many cars there. There's Bottas, so that could be interesting. Do I pass a car? I think I do. Yeah, I pass a safety car. Okay, we're just going to keep on then. So we need to go on for another lap. Right, let's try and sort this all out. But I think we might have held on to a race lead there thanks to that safety car, because Perez might have just gone past the front straight. Unfortunately, that Delta, I've just realised, might just mean we're going to rejoin in P4 here. I can go flat out now. I can finally push. The Delta went off across the second sector split line, but I think that's given enough time for the leaders to pit. I'm in rich mix. I'm pushing to the maximum, but look at that. You can see on the mini app already, they've already done a stop, I think, unless they have not stopped yet. Vettel's still on super softs, so that's interesting. I don't think they've actually stopped yet. Oh wow, I don't think they have. That's interesting. That's very interesting strategy from those guys. Right, we just caught up just in time to these guys as the safety car is coming in this lap. I'm already in rich mix, ready to push hard here. However, I'm fully expecting these 3 guys in front of me to come in this lap. Let's see what happens here. Get ready for the restart. And there we go. Underway. Perez has gone already. We're in rich mix. We're pushing hard. And these guys are not coming in just yet. So, interesting strategies here. Vettel goes defensive into turn 1. I'm going to try and look for the outside. No real space there to make the move. These guys are on supers still. They might be worn, but this track doesn't have a lot of tyre wear, so those still might work quite well for them compared to me on these mediums. But, like I said, I'm not racing these guys now because we're looking to get these tyres to the end of the race, as we did come in a little bit earlier. The safety car really helped me out, but right now we are the net race leader, so I'm not too concerned what these 3 guys in front do. Okay then, Perez and Vettel come in. Ocon stays out as expected, so we're going to go into P2, but like I said, we are still the net race leader here, so I'm in rich mix, now it's time to push. Once we get that clean air next lap, once Ocon comes in, we're going to really go hard. I'm already in rich mix though, but especially next lap, once I clear Ocon, I'm going to really try and push and break away for it. Okay, now Esteban Ocon comes in, so that's him now giving me the race lead. And now we've got basically control of this from now until the end of the Grand Prix. So that sounds pretty easy on paper. Let's hope we can make it as easy as it sounds. But we've got Verstappen in 3rd on soft compound tyres actually. So a different strategy there in the Red Bull. So he could be a threat if his straight line speed is good enough. Right, personal best for us, but Bottas responds to the fastest lap, so he's really showing some pace at the minute. 41.9, that's incredible pace, and I can't match that at the minute. Okay, we are at rich mix now, so I'm going to have to save this last bit just in case of any emergency. So if I wasn't fast enough with rich enabled the entire lap for about 5 laps, then we're going to be a little bit more vulnerable now, but I'm still very confident we get the job done with the car we have. At the moment, it's all very much under control. Bottas can't really attack me. And Verstappen's been overtaken by Hamilton for P3. That's the major thing that's happened so far. But the Mercedes can't touch me in a straight line. I'm just too quick, so it's all under control, which is very, very good for us. And we've only got 3 more laps to go next time we cross the line. Here we go then, on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. And it looks like we're going to be unchallenged as we run to the line at the end of this lap. Here we go, final corner, just to play it safe, just to make sure. We've got some rich mix. We're going to run rich to the line, as I accidentally double shift there, but we should be okay. We've got a little bit of a gap to Bottas. I'm going to pull over to the right hand side, try and break the slipstream a little bit here. Hopefully he doesn't catch up, but I can't even see his arrow, so he's not close enough. And here we go. We're going to come through to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here in Baku, and a 2nd race win in a row after Canada. Get in there. 25 points on the board, and we extend our championship leaders. Both of the Mercedes got 2nd and 3rd, so no Perez or Vettel in sight. So a massive points game for us and a big overall points boost. And fingers crossed, I'm also hoping Massa managed to recover from that first stop, because there was that 2nd safety car, so I'm sort of hoping he got the strategy right, and maybe he might have got some points, maybe, I don't know. I feel bad because I messed him over, but I am the number 1 driver in the team, and if I have to call in a pit stop, then I call in. Unfortunately, the team shouldn't have brought him in if they knew I was coming in that lap. But otherwise, you can see, we celebrate for the 2nd race running, and top step of the podium for us this race weekend here in Baku. And overall, like I said, I'm very, very happy. And we managed to sort of survive the storm at the start of the race, you know, limit the damage, coming for the early stop to cover off any undercuts. And also, you could say the Force Indians and Ferrari threw away by not pitting any of their cars under the safety car. For some reason, they decided to stay out. But either way, I'll take it. You know, you got to be opportunistic. And we take the 25 points here. And top step of the podium as we now move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings after a pretty damn good Baku Grand Prix. We now move into the Austrian Grand Prix. So looking at the final race results, we win the race ahead of Max Verstappen, who recovers from P10 on the grid. Very good race there from the Dutchman. And Kimi Raikkonen, who rounds up the podium after an incredible recovery drive. So in the end, penalties applied. As you can see on screen, the Mercedes, unfortunately, do lose some points. Raikkonen had a 5-second penalty, but Mercedes had 10 seconds off a penalty in both of their cars. And overall, quite a lot of people had penalties this race. Massa gets a very good 6th place, recovering from that initial first stop blunder. And also Perez and Vettel get 7th and 8th. And also Verla, unfortunately, just misses out on the points for Sauber. In terms of the driver standings, we lead the way by 48 points going into the Austrian Grand Prix. And also Massa gets himself up into P10 there in the championship. But in terms of the constructors, we take the lead for the first time in this career mode in this Williams, and we are neck and neck, equal points with Ferrari. If Mercedes hadn't done penalties, then it would have been us in the lead. But either way, we're leading the Constructors' Championship, guys, for the first time in this career mode. If that doesn't deserve a like, then I don't know what will. Let's try and smash, guys, 200 likes for this episode. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, do turn on notifications so don't miss a single upload from me in the near future, as I'm doing daily uploads now from now until the rest of the summer. Also, finally, do check out any of the 2 videos on screen, guys, if you haven't missed them by chance, and do check out some more content on the channel. But other than that, thank you for watching. Let's see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.